Hey Adam, have you seen this clip on YouTube of Adam Cole just going off on Pat McAfee?
You mean McAfee? Yeah, I've seen that. You know what, that guy has nothing to talk about. He was a kicker in the NFL. Wait, he wasn't even a kicker in the NFL. He was a
Okay, so
punter.
Adam is
He
going
was
off.
a four and a
Adam, can you
half
just lower
plays
him
per
down?
game.
You know,
Do you know who does
just
worse
let's
than
just
that
go
on
to
an NFL
just
team?
roll the intro.
Backup QB. Speaking of the backup QB, let me tell you something about 5G. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time for a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim. Hey Adam, now you get that out of you?
Get what
Did
out
you
of
get
me?
that out of you? You mean we're
Sorry,
recording later
dude.
because you had to
Dude,
go off on a
I,
3-hour tangent on 5G.
I don't know. Something about backup QB is like the last thing I remember saying. And then from there, I blacked out. It was weird.
Yeah.
Good. Hopefully the editor will be able to go ahead and just take that out. And we don't have to worry about it. It'll be over. It'll be like it never happened. Or did it?
Sure.
Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing out there? We got a lot of work to do today, actually. But yeah, let's go ahead and kick off right away.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa. Work? I'm out. I don't do work.
I'm sorry, what? Really? Tim, get back here.
What?
Okay.
We don't have to do work anymore? Okay, thank God.
It's not really work. We're just talking. We're giving our opinion about stuff going on in the world of wrestling right now. But
Do I
yeah,
get to rant about something?
yeah. But let's go
Okay,
right
good.
into Adam Cole. Yeah. He was actually today. It's Thursday. We record early, whatever. Show goes up on Saturdays. You get to enjoy it then. But yeah, he was on the Pat McAfee podcast talking pro wrestling. And honestly, now I'm looking at this clip over and over again. It looks like a work.
Yeah.
Partly because, Adam Cole does come across as being... I want to go and watch the entirety of this podcast from Adam Cole coming in as an interviewee, all the way to the point that he has his blow up and walks out. I want to see... Because Pat poked the bear a couple of times regarding Adam's size. Yeah, he's a small guy. Yeah, you know that all of the top guys in NXT right now are small guys.
Yeah.
So, and you were a punter.
The way he like when he's like, oh, so you want to talk about my size, and slaps the microphone out of the way and
spikes
gets
it
up. It's just, it just came off as like how he argues and does that stuff in wrestling.
Yes.
Not saying that that's not how he wouldn't have done it in reality if he was really getting upset, but he did come off like that. And we all know that Pat McAfee, the virus software guy,
Yes.
has some commentary for WWE in the past, for like the pre-shows and stuff like that.
Right.
So he has a relationship with them. So it's not likely. Who knows?
There was also
this could just be a way to
rumors
get some.
of him coming out
Yeah.
and interfering in a match. I don't remember if it was supposed to be for this year's WrestleMania or last year's, or some show over that time period.
I think it's just a way to get heat on Adam Cole because he hasn't been on NXT TV
Yeah.
since the last 2 weeks since he lost the NXT title. This could just be a way so if he's staying in NXT or if he goes to the main roster, they have something they can use like as heat, for heat or something to talk about, building up to him, all that. Who knows? Hopefully this was a work angle and not reality because it's a douche move to bring up. Now, I have no problem if you want to talk about size in wrestling and how it's changed.
Oh, yeah.
And even bring up, like, yes, you are a smaller guy, but what you can do in the ring, that shouldn't mean you should be looked down upon, like having that kind of conversation. But poking the bear, like, you're a small guy, you're kind of a small guy.
Yeah,
and putting it that way, no.
Yeah, in the clip that I sent to you, he says it twice. Like, yes, both times he's saying that Adam Cole is smart for surrounding himself with the rest of the Undisputed Era. It protects him as a top guy. But at the same time, oh, you're a small guy. It's like, at first I thought this was, because it was, the first headline that I see is Adam Cole storms out of interview with McAfee. And I read the article and it was, talking about Cole's size over and over again. And I was like, well, I know that he had, like, body issues, like physical size issues when, he was first, he tried out for WWE. They said that he didn't have the look that they were looking for at the time. He went to Ring of Honor. He was, no offense to Kevin Owens, Adam Cole was nearly the size of Kevin Owens at one point.
Yeah, if you go back, watch some of the stuff that the size he was during like his the Elite days when he was with the Bullet Club. Before that, like, you can see he was heavy set. And
that by the time he finished up with Ring of Honor and came to NXT, he was as small as he is now.
He actually dropped a lot more. He did drop some in between the time he finished up with Ring of Honor, but you can tell by the time he debuted in NXT,
he had been working way down.
He had, when you get paid to come in and work out every single day and be in the gym, you're gonna naturally drop that weight. And from the looks of it, it looks like a water weight too, if you go back. So, but which is always good because it's one of those things where you need to keep care of your body, and it's not always easy when you're, especially as an independent contractor. And you could be going from one show to the next, and you're working all the time. You don't really have you can only eat certain things because that's the only thing that's open late. So, but if this turns out to be true, not a work, then McAfee can go where the Viver software went, into non-existence, because no one gives a fuck about that software anymore. And if it turns out to be work, great. I think it works as a great angle because it had a lot of people saying, "See, Adam Cole, it just thinks fools of himself, and just shows he has an attitude, blah 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 blah." And it worked, and it got people to talk about him. So, but all right, Adam. Before we go on to the, we have some predictions we gotta cover and the results of some shows. But before we do that, let's talk about the ratings.
Woo, the ratings, baby!
I'm gonna give you the numbers. I'm not gonna tell you who.
Oh, okay.
And you're gonna tell me what company you thought won.
All right. Okay. All right.
So the highest number was 845 to 615,000. So 845,000 to 615,000.
Okay. All right.
So who do you think had the lowest number?
Well, it would probably, honestly, 845. That after this weekend, that's definitely got to be Impact. Fuck the owl. And they definitely put in the good numbers. NWA Power for the 615. It's got to be. They've been barely pulling in some numbers so far.
They're not even airing anything at the time, so
well, that explains why their numbers are so low.
That means they didn't air any. When they've aired any, they'd have a 0.
That's terrible numbers.
About the Wednesday Night War.
You can never win the ratings war with a 0. Come on, people, put some product out there.
We're talking about the Wednesday Night War, not the Tuesday Night War.
I thought we were talking about the Impact Power Wars.
No, that's a 3-way war with Impact, AEW Dark, and Power.
AEW Dark probably does the better job, and it's on YouTube. Anyway, well, I mean, that's a tough one. 845 is a big number right now for Wednesday night.
Yeah, so
In
You got 2 companies.
What the hell? Really? Look, because I'm a fanboy, 8:45 AEW. That's just because I'm a fanboy. Don't tell me it was NXT.
And not because of the WWE money in your pocket that you won't share with me.
Look, I'm not allowed to talk about it. I can neither confirm nor deny the rumors at this time. We'll talk about this later, okay? Seriously.
But we never do.
Later has not come yet.
You're correct. Dynamite won the ratings with 845,000 views, and NXT drew 615,000 views.
All right. That's good.
Yes. And so it's down for NXT by a lot.
Yeah, they dropped 16,000 compared to last week. AEW gained 57,000 this week.
So last night,
yes,
there was a total of 1.46 million people watching wrestling.
That's actually technically that's lower than both Raw and SmackDown's number, but at the same time, it's a Wednesday night also.
Yeah, it's not much. It's not beating. It's not. Raw and SmackDown aren't beating.
Wasn't Raw this week 1.8 or something like that?
I don't remember. It was down the last time I saw. One of them was close to 1.6. I think that was SmackDown this past weekend.
Yeah, SmackDown's number was like a 1.49, 1.54, something like that.
Raw was a 1.7 something.
I know that it was getting the boost it's the post-pay-per-view boost. But still, it wasn't like the old 3.4 or a 3.7 coming in off from a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's you don't know what it's gonna be like if you from that. Oh yeah, so it had 1.628 million viewers on Wednesday night. It was up from the 1.561 million viewers from the week before.
Okay, all right.
But it did not beat the week before that, which was at 1.687 million. So, yeah. Let's see the difference.
Yes. Let us see the difference. Hit that calculator.
1, 6, 2, 8.
And?
Okay. Raw had 168,000 more viewers than the combined of AEW, Dynamite, and NXT.
That's not bad at all. That means that there's a consistent near 2 million viewing on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for live televised wrestling.
Yes, but the thing is, though, it's sad for Raw that's been on the air for so many years.
Exactly.
And it's 2 lesser shows, combined ratings people are watching is almost towards their flagship show.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's interesting. But we gotta go. We have some We got some shows that happened over this weekend.
Yes.
That the Predictions Championship was defended not once, but actually it was defended only once because of what the fuck happened at the horror show.
We were warned, man. We were told that it was going to be a horror show at Extreme Rules, and we got a horror show. It's not the one that they were hoping for, though.
So let's actually talk about that one first, because based on some of the finishes, we decided that nope, we're not going to count it as a prediction because it was just, ugh.
It confuses everything.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the matches that were the issue. The United States Championship matchup did not happen because Apollo Crews had some medical stuff, and it's been somewhat revealed that it had something to do with COVID-19.
Oh.
We don't know, not for a fact that he was tested positive, but it has something to do with that apparently.
I mean, I really wish companies, especially with entertainment like this, if they have to pull somebody off, off from a card for a COVID reason, just, if it's Renee, be like, oh, well, we had to pull Renee from these shows because she tested positive. And AEW on the flip side is like, they won't do that?
They can't.
It's
private
no, they can't.
It's private medical information. They
Frack.
cannot reveal it without actual permission from the person.
Well, that's awesome.
I think it's had to do, from what I understand, I think it had something to do that he was around someone who did test positive, and that's why that he has tested positive. But it's apparently related to COVID-19.
Okay.
So they didn't have that matchup. So that screws over one of our matches.
Yes.
Then we have the non-finish of the AEW Women's Championship that took place on this matchup.
The AEW Women's Championship that happened at WWE's House of Horrors horror show. God, why does it have to be happening like this? Extreme Rules.
Yeah. The Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship matchup.
The hell happened here?
And then the non-finish of the Bray Wyatt Braun Strowman match. I don't care what Wikipedia says. The graphic was going up, and then Bray Wyatt pulled him back under. Then Bray Wyatt got pulled under, and the Fiend emerged in boiling blood. So this is a non-finish. No winner was announced in that matchup, so therefore there was no winner. So I'm sorry, this is not actually there. So it's another non-finish. So you know what? No. I did hear that apparently the swamp fight was actually pretty good overall for the cinematic version. Yeah. Not according to, but Ali Davis of Wrestle Talk is hoping, because they apparently mentioned in the fight that they've been actually inside of Bray's mind this entire time. So he's hoping by the Fiend coming up at the end and Bray getting pulled down, is the Fiend is now 100% in control of Bray.
Okay, that's... Oh.
So that would be kind of cool. Which would make the winner the Fiend, then?
Yes. The person who wasn't even in the match, they came out and won. You know what I call that? I call that interference. It's a DQ win for Braun Strowman.
We don't even know the rules for a swamp fight. You can't even click on swamp fight in Wikipedia to get what the rules were. It was a fight in the swamp with no clear way to win.
No.
So if that does turn out to be the case now, that would be cool. That'd be really fun to do. And we do know when it comes to the cinematic matches that Bray's in, he does get a lot of creative control over them.
Oh, they're really good because, I mean, honestly, let Bray Wyatt keep scripting Bray Wyatt promos and scripting the Bray Wyatt matches. He actually has a great imagination, and he's able to get this stuff together and be believable and all of that craziness going on.
Yeah. So it definitely would be good to see if that happened. But so it looks like that was a decent matchup. Now let's go back to the pre-show really quickly, because this was announced to the point where Kevin Owens had even put out a tweet like, "Oh, I better get over there now." Like, it was so last minute.
Yeah, I did catch. I didn't realize what that meant when I was scrolling. I scroll through Twitter in the morning and I see Kevin Owens being like, "Oh, gotta get over there," and I was like, "Huh?" And I just keep going on with my life because you see these tweets with no context and you're just like, "Okay, I don't get this."
And most of the time, from like someone like Kevin Owens, that's what it's referring to something that he's not mentioning.
Yeah.
Because He's saying basically he's confusing you if you don't know what's going on. It's just a possible way to draw you into trying to figure out if it has something to do with the WWE, or just to be a dick.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he could have been tweeting about something like the wife sending him to the store, and he's like, well, gotta get over there.
Yeah.
We're getting the burgers
So
for this afternoon. Ooh, burgers.
So he took on Murphy and defeated him in 8 minutes and 55 seconds, which
Okay.
was there. And then we had the tables match for the SmackDown tag titles, which Cesaro and Nakamura defeated the New Day.
Yeah, so...
and became the
that's
new
a
tag
thing.
team champions. What?
That's a thing. Again,
Yep.
a tag team being put together should not beat a cohesive unit who has won championships to the point that people are worried about them having the record for the most championships in the company. But no, Cesaro and Shinsuke can pull this off.
Well, they've been teaming together as part of a collective since, I don't remember when. February, a little before then.
Oh, really? Shows
'cause
how much I'm
Cesaro
actually
went-
paying attention. I'm sorry.
Well, because Shinsuke was with Sami Zayn,
Yes.
and then at some point when Cesaro got over there, he joined up with him at some point.
Some point.
So, yeah, so they've been together there. So I'm fine with it. This is not like they just threw them together as a team all of a sudden in the last like month or so, and now they're in tag team champions.
At the same
they've
time,
been doing stuff together.
yeah. At the same time,
Somewhat.
though, the
But it
Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus, yeah, it's just because they're both heavy hitters that they could take on and stand toe to toe with most any tag team.
Not just that, but they the whole storyline was that they hated each other in the best of 7 series. That the final matchup went to a draw, and they never had another match to find out who the winner was. So no one got a title shot, and then they were forced to tag to each other. They kept tagging, though they hated each other and kept trying to upshow each other, until they finally decided to work together, and they won the Raw tag titles off the SmackDown, off of the New Day.
Yep.
After they broke the record. Yeah. But it was a good story. I love those kind of stories with people who hate enemies who hate each other and eventually realize, oh, they actually work well together.
Yeah.
And
That and they had a killer
learned to
entrance.
work together. So, then we had Bayley successfully defending Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Seth extracted Rey Mysterio's fake eyeball.
Okay. Yeah.
And then hurled at ringside.
Yeah.
'cause of
I
the
don't
blood.
blame him.
So there's news on this. So originally they wanted to do like special effects, not just special effects, but like CGI and all that for the eyeball.
This was a
But
shoot
apparently-
eyeball removal? What the fuck?
So so Vince, who was very hands-on with this matchup, didn't like the effects, so they had a fake prosthetic made, and basically Ray's just holding it. So it just came out a little bit. So they can say basically the whole, you're going to lose an eyeball. This is a whole build-up for this match. Someone's losing their eye. They're going to lose their eyeball. You have to extract it to win. Only later in the show, they say Ray's been rushed to the hospital. The doctor says if there's no been, the optimal nerve has not been damaged, Ray should be able to get his keep his vision.
Which means that his eyeball's not been
removing
removed.
all consequences for this stipulation.
Ugh. Oh, removal of eyeball. Oh. Like, I'm sorry. I can't. That's just something I can't know. Ugh.
And you know that you had bad booking and made a bad decision to do the extraction of the eye for eye like type effect. When on Raw, during the Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre segment, where Dolph finally actually gets McIntyre to allow him to have another matchup, but Drew gets to pick the stipulation this time. When some NXT guy, trainee, yells, "Eye for an eye!" And then, possibly, not sure, the same guy later said after a matchup, "Take his eye!" that was edited out of the UK broadcast.
Which, by the
So
way,
you-
this whole thing between Ziggler and McIntyre, what did Ziggler do to deserve this title shot?
He got drafted to Raw, and they needed a filler feud between whatever last month's June's pay-per-view was and SummerSlam.
Because it doesn't, like, Ziggler hasn't won. What was it? Somebody pointed out Ziggler hasn't won on Raw since, like, 2012.
Well, he just came back over from SmackDown a few weeks ago.
Well, yes, but still, like, we know that he's been on SmackDown for a while, but his last win on Raw, like, this man hasn't had a win on this show, on this brand, since 2012 or whatever. It could be earlier than that, but
No,
still,
it's not that long. It's not even that long.
but still, that. So what did he do deserve to go after the title on the Raw show, other than show
he got
up?
traded and came over, and they needed a filler feud, so they put him in there. And not only that, this past Raw, they were supposed to start an angle where Randy was supposed to start the feud with McIntyre for the Raw title, for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam, which they nixed because they wanted to spike a rating by having one more title matchup with Drew and Dolph on Raw this Monday, because it's no longer about selling the pay-per-views. It's about making sure the ratings get up because they're so far down. Yeah.
Sorry,
but yeah,
I'm looking for that win. I'm looking for that last win on the show Raw. All right, I'm gonna find it.
So, speaking of that one, Dolph got to pick the stipulation for their matchup, and he picked an Extreme Rules matchup for him only. If McIntyre, it was a normal singles matchup, so he couldn't use any weapons.
Okay, all right.
Furthermore, if McIntyre got disqualified or counted out, Ziggler would have won the championship. So that was a good stipulation pick. Though I would have gone with that, and then added on top of that, Drew can't use the Claymore as well.
Okay, that's really limiting somebody, dude. You can't really do that to somebody. That's just mean.
I know. But Drew McIntyre retained as we expected. But yeah, from what I've heard, the Asuka and Sasha matchup was the match of the night. It was amazing right up to that finish, which a lot of people didn't like. Now, I'm fine with a dirty finish like this, if it's part to continue the storyline like to the next pay-per-view. But it's not. It was literally just to try to spike a rating next week, because they had Stephanie McMahon appear on Raw and tell Sasha that she is not the Raw Women's Champion because she did not win it. Asuka didn't retain because she didn't win the matchup. So they're going to have that matchup this week. But if Sasha gets disqualified, counted out, pinned, or submission, she loses the matchup. And specifically points out that if a certain role model, Bayley, gets involved, that could cost her the match and the championship. Basically treating it like the Raw Women's Championship was vacated. But according to WWE.com, Asuka is still the champion. And Adam is very hard.
Sorry, I'm looking for this. Seriously looking for it.
Yeah, it was apparently a good matchup. A lot of people didn't like the dirty finish. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised at the matchup if she loses because of Bayley and they use that to build towards SummerSlam. But whatever.
Oh my God! So the last singles win Ziggler had on Monday Night Raw was actually December 3rd, 2018. Over Drew McIntyre. Okay, so I mean now it's more of a way callback. Other than that, Ziggler had a long run of tag team wins with Bobby Roode.
What was the date?
December 3rd, 2018.
Okay. But yeah, so who knows? We all know WWE doesn't give a shit about the wins and losses. And their once in depth, very deep roster is not available because they got rid of a bunch of people back in April, and a bunch of people aren't working because of COVID-19.
It's okay. Okay, I mean,
so they had to do something.
Look, when life gives you shit, you make shit aid. Okay? No, you don't. You throw that shit in the trash.
So it was a bad.
Then you clean your hands. I mean, you might wear a mask too.
Apparently, because of how bad the reaction was to the horror show Extreme Rules, Vince made last-minute changes to Raw. Apparently, they were supposed to. Farouk was brought back for a segment where they were originally apparently going to restart the Nation of Domination again.
If they do,
and he was going to be involved in that.
Big E needs to be Farouk needs to be the manager for Big E, and you build the team around Big E.
No, apparently it was going to be there's confusion about who it could be because he did a segment with MVP, Bobby Lashley, and then Shelton Benjamin, who won the 24/7 championship right there. So people were thinking it was them, but no. The actual rumor is it was apparently that's the Hurt Business stable name. That's what they're calling it. Apparently, the Nation of Domination is supposed to be Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and now the new drafted to Raw, Mustafa Ali, who got his first name back.
Oh, sweet! He's not just Ali anymore. It's Mustafa Ali. I like that.
So, apparently, it's a deal that they were going to be part of the new Nation of Domination to feud against the Hurt Business because they beat them. They would also beat them on Raw. So
to me, the Nation of Domination is supposed to be the beefiest of beefy.
Well, not that. It was a Black Panther type.
Yeah, but everyone in it was beefy.
I know, but it was basically the original concept was the Black Panther Islamic terrorist group.
No, not terrorist.
So, yeah.
They were just meant to be out there to scare the white people. They scare them.
Yeah.
Clutch those pearls.
But, yeah, he made a lot of changes. Which is the reason why they didn't do the angle for Drew and Randy. They were advertising Flair the entire time, even though there was rumors that he had contracted COVID-19. But Flair has denied that, saying his wife has contracted it.
Yeah.
They're quarantining each other across their 5,000 square home.
Wow, just a small place.
She's on the third floor. He's living in the basement. Though apparently he's not quarantining because there's a photo that showed him paying cash without a mask on at Starbucks at the drive-thru.
Ooh. Come on, Rick, put on a mask.
So
you're part of the at-risk group. Just put on a mask.
All right. Well, let's move on to the actual really good show, and really well built and planned out. This was a relaunching point for Impact, and not like a relaunch as we fucked up all this shit. We need to rebrand this thing.
No, that happened a while ago. when they
this
became
is a relaunching
Impact.
in a sense of they did a very good job of building to Slammiversary to draw attention to it.
Yeah.
And they knew what they were trying to do to draw attention, new eyes, celebrate that, and build not just to keep the fans who've been watching it, but bring new eyeballs overall to the product. And it sounds like they did a very good job because apparently I guess they did really good on Tuesday night's episode of Impact as well.
Yes.
So we had a bunch of matches. We had Moose defending his unsanctioned TNA championship.
I like the fact that they're calling it the
AEW.
unsanctioned TNA championship. Like I like that idea that this is a championship that is only set up between like the champion and a challenger.
Yeah.
And that the only thing that the company's doing is going, fine, you can have a match on the card and defend your championship, Moose.
So it's definitely it was cool to do that. He did defend it against Tommy Dreamer and was successful.
Yeah,
we both got that one right.
So like when they said old school rules, we thought that it was going, like a number of people thought it was going to be, you know, a quote unquote old school match. And I guess it actually means anything that ECW has done before. Every
Yes.
Extreme Rules match that has ever happened with Tommy Dreamer in it. That's not an old school match. That's an Extreme Rules match, people. Come on.
Hardcore match. Extreme Rules is what WWE calls their hardcore matches.
But I'm willing to
Anyone
bet
else
that,
is
like,
hardcore.
oh yeah, hardcore. You could have just called it the Hardcore Rules.
I know, but we knew that was going up. Do you have the actual order of events?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
So the
what was
show
next
started
one?
off with the Rascals coming out to
That's right.
with their open challenge, and
We didn't predict this one because we didn't have a team.
no,
Which is probably a good thing for you because you said the Rascals were going to lose that one.
I didn't
We're gonna
realize
win
who
that
they
one.
were going to be facing against. No,
Yeah, I know.
no. I said that the
and
Rascals
by the
were going
way-
to lose, right?
No, you predicted that the Rascals were going to win. You said they were going to win.
No.
And I said, no. New team, any new team coming in is going to win. That's how it works. And you're like, no, the Rascals are going to win. And what happened? Where Rascals lost to the Motor City Machine Guns.
It's the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley is back, ladies and gentlemen. He and Chris Sabin teamed back up, and this match went from 0 to 100 immediately.
Yeah. From what I've heard, like this was a really good strong. Like it really showed off what the Rascals can do, but it also helped celebrate the team of Motor City Machine Guns from the past.
Yeah.
And really just launching them, which is awesome. What was the next matchup on the card?
Next up was the old school rules match for the unsanctioned
Okay, so
TNA World Heavyweight Championship, where Moose,
Yep, so we covered that.
where Moose just threw Tommy Dreamer into everything in the ring for like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we have it's not a gauntlet match. The gauntlet match for the gold, the gauntlet for the gold match to determine the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship. It's not a gauntlet match. It was a It was a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because when you had a gauntlet match is when you have someone lose, gets pinned, they leave, someone else comes in, the winner stays. That's a gauntlet match. This was a Royal Rumble, and you got eliminated by being tossed over the top rope.
Yes.
Except the final two opponents,
Right.
who you face off, and basically it comes down to a pinfall.
Pinfall or
And-
submission.
Yes, and we had two picks for this one.
Yes.
We both got it right on our second pick, being Kylie Ray.
Yes. She is
Which
the
made me
ultimate.
wonder-
like, I love the fact that Kylie Ray does the Bailey character better than Bailey has been doing the Bailey character.
Yeah. Basically, once Bailey won the NXT Women's Championship, she stopped playing the Bailey character,
I know.
and she had to try to. She stopped playing, and she just couldn't do that anymore because she didn't know, or no one knew where to take that character after that.
No, not at all.
Or how to have that character be a champion, and because she had to be the head of the star of the division because they were an all rookie roster outside of Asuka who just came in, and yeah, But
All you had to do was continue to allow her to be super bubbly.
yeah,
She's now not only was before it was I'm happy to be here and I'm just looking to climb up the ladder. Now it's I'm happy to be here. I'm the champion. Look at this. Can you guys believe this? This is ridiculous. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
When she faced off against not a Jax, it could have been like, you could have had people saying, you need to toughen up. You can't be this bubbly, or Nyla's going to kill you out there. You could have built that. And so, showed where she actually had to get a meaner streak, a fiercer streak,
yes,
and be serious. She could still be bubbly, but she could do it that way. And you could have built up when she took it against Asuka, she's being bubbly and like, okay, yeah, she's a dominant streak, but I've taken on the best NXT women's champions and Becky Lynch before winning the title, and I can take this on. And then her goal back could be like, okay, okay, she beat me. I do need to get serious. And finding out who she wanted to be super serious, or did she want to be her, and that could have been her storyline. And she chooses that, but that leads to her not being able to defeat Asuka. And then she goes to the main roster, and you could literally just do the same thing all over again on the main roster.
Now she's happy to be here on the main roster.
Yeah. But so when I saw that she won this, Kylie Ray, I was like, okay, she just won this. What are they gonna do with the Knockouts Championship?
Who knows?
Which we'll get to.
I do have to say it was kind of. I don't know how I feel about Johnny Bravo trying to enter twice. One time as Taya Valkyrie and the other time as Rosemary. Look, just really, we don't need this. Just you didn't need to throw comedy in here, but whatever. Yes, next up we have the singles match for the not NXT, the Impact X Division Championship. Willie Mack defending against Chris Bay.
And
Chris
Adam,
Bay.
You got it wrong.
I know.
Willie will defend.
I was doing the David and Goliath, thinking that this time the Goliath was supposed to win.
Nope. Chris Bay won. I got that one right. I heard it was a decent matchup between them. Then we had the North defending the Tag Team Championships. 1 year they've been holding these belts against Ken Shamrock and Sally Callahan. And Adam, you got this one right with the North retaining.
Yes.
And Ken Shamrock, and they actually even did a spot where Ken had one of the North in an ankle lock, the other one had Callahan in it, and those two are just slapping each other while in ankle locks. So, this is really just a build to a feud towards these two, but hopefully we'll see them tagged a little bit longer beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still surprised at how well Ken Shamrock is wrestling in his 50s.
Yep. It just shows you that he took care of himself. Now, breaking news though, there's a reason why the North retained here, and the reason why Motor City Machine Guns did so well in their return, because on Impact they won the Impact World Tag Team Championships from the North.
See? Motor City Machine, but it's one of those that, like, if they had, I don't know, if FTR had signed with Impact, you know that they would have put the belts on them immediately.
Probably.
I do like the way that AEW is stretching this out and being like, no, we're making our belts, our champions, we're having them be the reason that they will eventually lose this belt.
But the thing is, though, this show wasn't putting the belts in the Motor City Machine Gun was about catching some of those people who used to watch Impact years ago who left. And the Motor City Machine Gun was one of the most popular teams out there. So it makes sense. I'm okay with it. So I'm okay with this move because when you see what they were trying to do with this, they caught attention. They saw the And they did everything they could in the show to make sure people were interested. It was a great show and would want to watch on Tuesday. And it seems like that it did. And their show on Tuesday did a very good job of keeping that going.
Oh,
but speaking of hiring someone new,
hold on, for me, I loved the Motor City Machine Guns, and I absolutely loved their run with Generation Me, aka the Young Bucks. Especially back when Generation Me, like the first time I saw them, I'm hanging out with one of my buddies and we're watching. Both of us looked up and we were like, "It's Generation Me," and I was just like, "That is the lamest name I've ever heard." And I see the two of them come out, and I was like, "Oh, could you guys try to copy the Hardys a little bit harder? And the Rockers. I see both going on here at the exact same time. You freaking fanboys." I hated them until after they left Impact. And then I was like,
everyone hated them.
Oh, I get the joke of your character now. What you are is you're literally the wink and a nod to the Rockers and the Hardys. You're like, no, we literally are their fanboys, and we want to be as awesome as them, and we'll do whatever it takes.
So you missed the point of where they were idolizing the Hardys. They weren't idolizing Team Extreme Hardys. They were idolizing the Hardys before they became Team Extreme.
Yes.
When they were just jobbers.
And they wore those were hard tights to look at, man.
Yes.
That plaid pattern in the blue.
Yep.
Like, who thought that was a good idea? Really?
But yeah.
Turns out it's Matt.
But speaking of a new hire and putting a championship right on them, Dino Perezzo defeated Jordan Grace for the Knockouts Championship in a matchup that people were saying that no one knew Dino Perezzo was this good in the ring.
No,
because they never really got to see it.
Yeah,
on WWE TV.
This match was a moment that really everything that she's done in NXT up to this point gave you an idea that she was good. She was going to be something big.
No, it didn't, because she only appeared on WWE TV and maybe once or twice on NXT TV.
No, we knew. I knew. Just watching those few matches ever, I knew that she was going to reach the heights of maybe breaking out of the Performance Center and actually getting a reoccurring role on NXT. That was the heights that she was looking forward to at that time. And then she comes over to Impact and put on okay, I know that her wrestling, she is a technical wrestler. She is going to technically wrestle the crap out of you. And I also love the fact Jordan Grace is one of my wrestling crushes. I'll put that out there. And she's a powerhouse. Yeah. And she's just going to power move you to death. And I love seeing the back and forth between the powerhouse and the technical wrestler, or you got the powerhouse and the high flyer, or two technical wrestlers. The high flyer and the technical wrestler doesn't always work out, but these two put on an amazing match.
Yeah. So, the one thing I will say this: Dino Perezzo's promo work needs some work, because when her first package after she signed with them, there was something about her performance. Well, I've seen a few things that since then that she shows better in it. She's getting better. I don't know if it was just a new take on the character in her first promo. It was just that, but
could have been.
Seeing how good she did in the ring is great. So, because we both picked this one wrong. We both picked Jordan Grace to retain here.
I mean, it made more sense that the powerhouse, who has been powerhousing her way through the women's division, would continue to do that.
Yeah, but also we weren't expecting them to go okay, they're going to put this belt on this newcomer, and they don't know if she's going to get overall with the fans, because there's no fans in attendance or all that. So, but good for them. It's a great way to push that. But again, this comes down to me. It's like, okay, Dino Perez now she's been with the company about 2 months now, and she's already your women's champion. Okay, what's next when she drops it? What's next for her?
Right.
They really need to bring back the Knockout Tag Team Championships. Because, well, yes, you can have them transfer over into the X Division or the Impact World Championship. The only reason why Tessa did that was because she got so over. They could do that. So I like this idea of they bringing back the the Knockout Tag titles.
Yep.
Give the women something more to challenge for, because once you put that on, it's either multiple reigns, but that can get old if you constantly get multiple reigns over and over again.
Yeah.
And you can't, even though you have a depth of a roster, you can't use all your roster because they always buy only for one championship. So that's what I think that they should really do, is they should really focus on making that X Division. That should be the focus point of the open division. Send more women into the X Division and see when they wrestle men if they can get over. And that way, if you do, you can then elevate them up to the Impact World title picture.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they always have the X Division and the Knockouts Division.
Right.
So, and then in the main event, we had Austin Ace, Eddie Edwards, Trey, and a to be determined.
Yes.
For the vacant Impact World Championship. And that the predetermined turned out to be, drum roll please, Eric Young. Because I do not count Rich Swann as to be determined.
I laugh because there's actually an entire run in the wrestling community right now. That Rich Swann, because they were like, it's a fatal 4-way with the fourth person will be to be determined, and Rich Swann was the fourth person to walk out. Yeah. They were like, no, it's his quote unquote return from injury. It's the big return. Look, it's Rich Swann. And it's like, and then immediately after that, they're like, oh no, actually, sorry, giggle, trolled ya. It's actually Eric Young.
No, actually, the way it worked out was what they did was the to be determined was Rich Swann. I still don't count it.
I know.
But was the to be determined, and then Eric Young showed up and put himself into the match.
Yeah, that's the storyline.
And then what they did, and it's a great move. They played the fans saying, "Oh, it's just." They were teasing someone a bit, like one of these released superstars from WWE, like Eric Young, EC3, and then we got Rich Swann. Not that he's a bad wrestler, but
no.
And then it's like, oh man, really? This is the big thing? Then Eric Young comes out. Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like, you're going to a concert and you're like, they're gonna play the number one hit. It's coming up. Just wait. And they go into like a deep cut song, and you're just like, well, I mean, that's an amazing song, but weren't you just building to doing your number one single? I mean, I love this song. And then they just stop the song and go into their number one single, and you're like, all right, that's what I wanted.
they played you, everything.
I mean, Eric Young also was the first person eliminated from the match, too.
I thought Eric Young was the first one eliminated.
Yeah, that's what I said. Eric Young was the first one eliminated.
I thought you said Rich Swann was.
No.
Sorry,
then Rich was second.
I don't listen. I barely ever hear you because I don't care.
It's okay. It's okay. I understand.
But then Eric Young decided to
Hillmanize
Rich Swann's ankle after being eliminated.
Yep.
But it then came down to Ace Austin and Eddie Edwards, two men whose first and last names both start with the same letter.
Yeah, we had AA versus EE.
And it turned out Eddie Edwards winning the match and then becoming his second time Impact World Champion.
Good on him.
Only to have Ace Austin and his big tall person beat him down afterwards, to send for the Good Brothers to come out.
I
and
love
look
the
like they're
fact
going
that
to
they are
join.
going by the name The Good Brothers.
And it looked like they were going to join Ace Austin, and I think it's Madman Fulton, I think is the guy's name.
Yes.
And it looked like they were going to join them and beat up Eddie Edwards, only to attack them and help Eddie, and then drink a beer with him.
Yep.
Which was really cool. And when you thought everything was done, we had the pay-per-view.
It was all completed.
We get a quick video of EC3 turning around with a drink, smashes against the wall, and walks off. That's it, and that's the show.
EC3, ladies and gentlemen. He's back in Impact, and hopefully it helps him overall.
But not just that. When he showed up on Impact this past Tuesday, he attacked the unsanctioned TNA World Champion Moose.
He went after Moose.
Yes.
You know that this is going to slowly build to a unification match.
I think what they're going to do, they'll do is they'll have Moose drop the belt to EC3, that unsanctioned championship to EC3.
Yeah.
See, it would be funny if then Moose comes up with another like he brings back if they can get the legal to do this. He brings back the what is it called? The Global Force Championship.
He comes back with Jeff Hardy's championship.
No. He comes back with the King of the Mountain, but he calls it the Global, like Eric Young renamed it from the Legends Championship.
Yep.
I'm the Global Champion.
Just keeps pulling like an old champion. Like it's at one point, it's not even like he's run out of the world championships, and he's like the TV championship, the Global Force,
which is the same
light heavyweight champion.
Because the Legends Championship became the Global, then the TV, then got retired, then came back as the King of the Mountain Championship, then retired. So know what he'll do? He'll do the Global first, that'll get retired, he'll lose that. He'll bring back the Grand Championship, lose that. Then he'll bring back the King of the Mountain as the TV Championship, lose that, bring it back again as the King of the Mountain Championship.
He keeps losing all of these matches. In the end, he shows up with the final one, and at this point, who's kind of in charge of Impact right now? Is there a authority figure?
Not really. It's I can't remember. Don Callahan who produces.
In that case,
someone else.
As all of these now you have like 19 championships. Only like 4 of them actually mean anything. The rest of them are all retired championships. But now, because they've been defended and transferred once, they're active again. And you're like, well, crap, what do we do? He sets up a tournament to unify all of these championships. Willie Mack wins it. No, not Willie Mack. Moose wins it. He unifies them all back into the unsanctioned TNA World Heavyweight Championship, because it's also going to go right into the next pay-per-view, which we'll do. Bound for Glory would be a good one for this one. It's the TNA World Heavyweight Championship versus the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, unifying both belts, whoever the winner is. By the way, this will end in 2024. It will be abandoned 4 times during the time, but it will finally pay off in 2024. Oh wait, Dixie Carter isn't here to do it anymore.
Speaking of Impact, there was some number of debuts. We had Heath Slater, the Slater, show up, wanting to be in that one. And then he got kicked out. We saw a segment backstage with Rhino, who said, welcome him. Like, we had to leave because it's a closed set. And Rhino's like, oh, I'll get you on Tuesday. We'll see you Tuesday. I'll get you on the list for Tuesday. He showed up again. He couldn't get on the list again.
Yeah. They're like, there's a way to go about this. Like, I like the fact that, like, he got in and was able to cut a promo as somebody who's not even he's not even a guest. Like, he's not a registered anything on a closed set, but he could cut a promo. All right. Okay, that's how it works.
Whoever's job it is to secure that set needs to be fired because it's happened twice now.
Exactly. I did also see that Kurt Hawkins, formerly Kurt Hawkins, showed up someplace. I forget where.
Brian Myers is what he's going by, and he cut a promo at Impact this past Tuesday.
I like the fact that he's sticking with the orange and blue coloring.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I couldn't figure out a close name, so I'm going to at least keep the visual so everyone looks at it and goes, oh, it's you, the guy who didn't win for 4 years.
So, did you see the photo that was taken of all the released WWE talent that showed up on Impact with Tommy Dreamer?
Oh, that means you know that it was Tommy that was like actively being like, we need to get these guys, we need to get this guy, we need to get this guy, get this guy.
They just took a photo together. All the released talent that showed up and Tommy Dreamer. They're giving a little bit of sign language, and it's all targeted at WWE.
It's a one finger salute to Vince.
Yes. Yeah, but it's not the one where I'm used to point with. It's the one. It's its neighbor.
The one that you put the ring on.
Solo.
The one that you put the ring on.
No. It's the one to the right of that.
Oh, the tiny one. That one.
No. Other direction.
Oh, that finger. The Austin salute.
Yes, the Austin one finger salute.
All right.
At WWE, I was like, there you go. But yeah, so in the overall predictions, and still your predictions champion.
Yeah.
With four right to your 3 right.
Yeah.
As it came to the who would be to be determined. Technically, we both got wrong, but because I don't recognize Rich Swann as the actual to be determined, I got that one right with Eric Young.
Yeah.
You picked Zack Ryder.
I know. Mine still makes as much sense as Eric Young, honestly.
No, it doesn't.
Eric Young,
it doesn't matter if I got it right or not, because we didn't need a tiebreaker.
Nope.
So that gives me 3 wins in a row. So Adam, because we didn't do because we scrapped the predictions, which we would have tied at.
Yeah.
We would have gone to for simulation. That would have, and if I won that would have given me 4 in a row, breaking the record. So your next
Here's a
prediction,
salute,
you
sir.
better win.
Here's a salute. Here, right here. One day I'll win it back. One day.
One of these days.
And then the next day you'll win it from me, okay?
Probably. So, but it is good to see that Impact made the most of this, and hopefully this will draw some of those old fans back.
Maybe.
It sounds like a great show. I've been meaning to find it and watch it because I actually kind of want to see what they're doing, how it comes off, because it looked like a really good and entertaining show.
They've been doing a very good job of mixing the legends with new talent. Clearly you have the legends there, or older wrestlers there, as teaching tools and to help put people over. You're like, okay,
yeah,
it's not like WWE who's like, hey, you're only here a little bit. How about our world championship belt? You're only here a couple of weeks a year, but we're going to put this on you for a year and a half. We'll see you in 19 weeks.
Speaking of world championship belts.
Yes.
Tessa Blanchard requested that Impact pay her $150,000 for that championship belt.
I'm sorry. I saw this and I thought that this was the funniest thing on the planet because I looked at this and went, did she put $150,000 deposit on it? Is she Like, I have not seen any information about whether it's a deposit or if she's claiming that Impact still owes her some money left on her contract.
I don't know either, but one of the things, like Ali from Wrestle Talk mentioned that it goes back to the territories days where for NWA, you would put down a deposit on the belt.
Yeah.
That you would get back when you dropped the belt because you didn't lose it, and all that. And I think he kind of put it off that this is what it was for, but it wasn't not $150,000 you put down. We don't know for a fact.
Is there
that
platinum on that
did
belt?
I know. Apparently, though, they made a claim that they said no and basically just had new belts more focused on silver than gold. But I haven't seen anything new about the difference between the belts, so I don't think that part's true. They just had a new one. They have spares.
Yeah.
Or they should have spares. So I do find that hilarious. It's not the best move, but it won't stop the WWE from hiring her because they don't give a shit about controversy.
Nope.
At all.
They're like, you wanna take the belt over there? Take the belt over there. Woo! Honestly,
speaking of other world champions,
I gotta say something though, and this is a dick power move that Impact can totally pull here, and look, that belt isn't your property, and at this point, because you're no longer an employee of this company, you still have property that does belong to this company. You're stealing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could, but she's in Mexico, and she lives in Mexico, so
you can keep it down there. What are you going to do? Bring it to Alberto Del Rio?
Speaking of other brand champions, the Limitless Keith Lee, NXT champion and NXT North American champion, made a tough announcement this week.
Oh, what was that?
Where he announced that he was relinquishing the North American Championship because he does not want to hinder other people from having the opportunities that he had. And William Regal announced that there will be five triple threat matches over the next 5 weeks, where the winners will move on to NXT 30, TakeOver 30, to face off in a ladder match for the vacant North American Championship.
So it's going to be a 5-man ladder match for the North American Championship at a takeover.
Yep.
Where have I heard something like this before? Only the only difference, it was a 6-man ladder match last time.
Yep. We talked off mic, and I think it's a great thing. I think anytime the NXT North American Championship gets vacated for whatever reason,
exactly,
it should always be solved in a ladder match, because it's a great way to say, this is how it came in, this is how you get the vacant title. So I think that's a great little thing to do, because it's just a great little thing. And it was want to alleviate some of the fears that some people were having that NXT was going to go to the whole, it's the main event, all they care about is the main event, not the mid-card.
Yep.
Because that's what some people thought was going to happen. And this shows that, no, this is a mid-card championship.
Yeah.
And they even proved that, because in the first triple threat matchup, Bronson Reed defeated Johnny Gangaro and Roderick Strong to be the first person added into that matchup. So it's literally going to be a mid-card championship. That's what it's meant to be, which is a great thing. Which is what the TNT championship is in AEW. Though that one's kind of held by someone who should be a world champion, but that's how you make a championship mean something.
Exactly.
Same reason why they put the North American Championship on Adam Cole instead of someone else. Because they knew Adam Cole was an world champion level contender, but you put it on that when they can't go for there to help establish the belt.
Right.
So it will be interesting to see this. I'm going to make a prediction here. I think they're going to put it on Damian Priest. I think he'll be the one who wins it.
Okay.
Overall, because they've been having some really good matchups with him lately, and I think they're like, okay, they're gonna push. They want to start pushing him to the moon now. So it will be interesting to see who does end up winning that one.
Speaking of NXT TakeOver 30, that logo, guys. What do you think of it?
Yep, I like it.
I like it.
It's simple. It's classic. I think it can be one of those things that it can be easy to go over the top with something that big.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to something simple, 3 X's, circle, some flames in the X's, it looks good. I like it.
You know, NXT is going triple X.
Don't Google that and go into the image searches.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Because actually I watched...
first, set your browser to incognito, then go ahead and do it. I'm just saying, might as well spice up your life with some weird.
Because I was watching the Wrestle Talk podcast where they reviewed and they talked about that. And El Ficador, Laurie Brake said, do not Google this. And then, of course, as they're doing the podcast, right there is Adam Blampier is like, yeah, I just did that. Oh my God, I can't stop seeing the other things.
Of course.
So what did I do immediately? I went and Googled it. It's actually not as bad as you think. There's some NXT stuff there, but then there's the porn, of course.
Of course, it's Plumpy. Ooh, I'm gonna go ahead and check this out.
So, which is cool there.
Sorry about my coughing, ladies and gentlemen. If you're catching it in the background. No, I don't have the COVID.
You have the COVID. You have COVID-19.
No.
Wait. That cough is from COVID-18. You have the 18 version of it.
I've got well, you know what? I've hinted at it a number of times through other shows. I got the COVID 420 over here, okay? That's why I'm coughing.
So going back to the release stars, Eric Young has talked about how much of a disaster unorganized WWE is. Yeah.
I'm willing to bet for most of his entire WWE run, outside of NXT, he was being told, oh, we're going to use you. We're going to use you. We're going to use you. We got big plans for you. Don't worry about it. We're going to use you. And then nothing ever happened. So he's probably super frustrated and being like, yeah, so I was part of one of the top tag teams coming up to the main roster and nothing happened. Like we didn't, so, it's not they broke us up and, you know, we got shit on. No, nothing happened. I got paid to not do anything.
Yeah. So this is what he had to say. He said there's no creativity. They want everyone to do things the same, be the same, and bump the same, sell the same. And there are millions of rules that change daily. It's really hard to understand what's going on and why it's going on. The system is flawed, and I would say that to anyone there, I would say it to Vince McMahon himself.
Wow. Some people do not.
We always hear about the unwritten rules.
Yeah.
We always hear about the unwritten rules.
Oh yeah, the unwritten rules where it's, you know, whoever's in charge at that moment just goes, this is how it's going to be. And you're like, okay, cool.
It's not even that. It's just like these rules that you have to do this thing because it's been tradition, or you got to do this over here, and then something else, or someone else.
We have to do it this way because that's how they used. Because we decided to do it this way because those other guys were doing it that way. So we can't be like that. So we have to go against the grain. And you're like, oh, okay. I mean, it's weird that you have to do that in the back, but
yeah, it's interesting to see, which we've all known about, and it's just like, wow, okay. But so Adam, what else do we have in the docket?
We got to talk about WWE for just a quick second longer regarding Rey Mysterio and how he may not be re-signing with them. We don't know right now.
True.
Oh,
So, so the rumor is like he's been working. Not a rumor, but hasn't been wrestling. He does not have a contract with WWE.
right.
He's been working without a contract, and the whole eye for an eye if he lost was a way to write him off TV in case he doesn't re-sign. And apparently he went to Connecticut last week to continue those discussions, and he wants more money because it's going to be one of the last contracts that he possibly signs. And WWE is doing a hard stance on no raises.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to be the most profitable year for them, and so they can't spread the wealth.
Right.
Also, apparently, they want him to sign a 5-year contract, and he won't sign more than an 18-month contract.
He's what, 42?
I think so.
And he was a massive high flyer for a long time. So that
Yep.
so that means that he has the body of a 75-year-old anyplace else.
He's 45.
40. Wow.
He'll be
Okay, so
46
he's a little
in
older than
December.
I expected. I mean, I knew he was about my age, maybe a little older.
Yep.
So, but wow. Okay. At 40, I'm sorry, in the pro wrestling world, by the age of 35, you're going, all right, what else can I do now? My body is getting banged up. I am stiff
Yep.
all the time. 45, you're going, hey, you know what? I had a healthy spurt, and I was able to heal up and get through a bunch of stuff, and I'm ready to rock and roll again. But you're also not going, I'm not planning to wrestle into my 50s. So, I'll see how I feel in a year and a half.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see. But apparently they're also using his son Dominic's future in the company as a bargaining tool because if he doesn't resign, they won't sign him.
That is a dick move.
Yeah. Because apparently, I guess the rumor is that Ray wants to, when he retires, he wants to pass on the mask to him.
Which would make sense.
Which is cool. But he could probably go to AEW and get the same amount of money he's making from WWE and probably more if he really wanted to, if he went over there. But apparently he wants because he's really focused on his son being set up in WWE. He hasn't done that yet. But only time will tell to see if he actually does resign. But the whole eye for an eye was a way to write him off in case he doesn't resign, which...
Yeah.
Honestly, Ray, WWE is not the mecca anymore.
No, a certain
place in Turkey is not renewing their contract for TV and picking up AEW. So
and honestly, I would love to see some more matches between Mr. Rey Mysterio and Pentagon Jr. Or a team up between Pentagon Jr., Rey Mysterio, and Rey Fenix. That we'll call it Penta Ray Squared.
No.
No?
There's 2 matchups that must happen if he goes to AEW.
Okay.
Right away. The first matchup is I want to see Rey Mysterio versus Sammy Guevara. Immediately.
Thank you. I mean, yes, thank you. Okay.
And then I want you to build to Rey Mysterio Jr., because he goes by Rey Mysterio Jr. outside of WWE.
Right.
He's not just
right.
Rey Mysterio. I want you to build to Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, 6 to midnight with that one.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold on. I gotta replace my pants. I'll be right back. Did not think of that match. Did not think of that. But I would like to see much in the way that ECW was like ECW, and actually WCW didn't really do it. They just stole them from ECW. But ECW really opened its doors to luchador wrestling. They were just like, no, come up here. We want to show you guys off up here. WCW just stole those guys from ECW and barely ever used them again.
Pretty much.
Like outside of the light heavyweight division, the cruiserweight, the junior heavyweight division, whatever WCW called that division. I forget.
The cruiserweight division.
Yeah. So I would love to see that AEW be that company that opens its doors to luchador wrestling again. And you're like, no, open it wide open and be like, nah, guys, we got masks. We got masks. If you need a mask, let me know. We've got masks. But I would like to see...
So I just found on YouTube, looking to see if there was an actual Rey Mysterio versus Orange Cassidy match out there.
Oh, there
I
are.
did not find. Yeah. I didn't see it. I haven't found it on YouTube. But I did find an Orange Cassidy versus Brian Alvarez.
Oh, what? No.
Yep. Apparently it's for the IWTV Independent Wrestling Television Championship. I have the link. I'll send it to you.
Huh. Okay.
But yeah, so that's one match. Those are the two matches I want to see. But speaking of AEW,
Yes.
they have apparently decided that they want to beef up their women's division. Finally.
Okay. I mean,
So what do they do?
For me right now, one of the only reasons that it doesn't seem to be that beefed up is because of the fact that, like, right this second, COVID. None of the Japanese
yes.
ladies are able to be here at all.
Part of it. But also it's just like a lot of their women aren't well known
Right.
overall. Like, you have to build a lot of those women up. This is why if you watch my fantasy booking, the TEW fantasy booking AEW.
I still like the title of Fantasy Booking with Tim.
No, it's dumb. It sounds stupid.
It's the most straightforward. Like, you put so much... Never mind. You know what? Never mind.
That's the point, Adam. That's the point. Anyway, that's the reason why I brought in, like, Sasha Banks. I brought in Tessa Blanchard. Some of these bigger named talent there as we build up other talent, women's talent. But what they're doing is they're going to have the summer of women, and they've announced a women's tag team cup tournament.
All right.
For the summer. There'll be 16 women, 8 teams competing in this tournament. No start date. It's just that it's going to be happening in the summer. And we had the first team announced overall. And this is the Nightmare Sisters of Brandy Rose and Allie. So, they are part of the team in this tournament. So we'll be interested to see. That's actually what they've been needing for a while. Like, because, well, this you could make it a case this should be for the women tag team championships. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised at the end if they did bring those out. But what you need to do is you need to have something where you can have women coming out and having lots of matches with a goal to showcase what they can do to help build them up. And all that. And you don't necessarily have to have them actual as teams beforehand, like people who are actual team.
Yeah.
Because it's about tag team wrestling and women's wrestling. So that's what you can do to help build them up. Because it gives them one more thing to fight for. And also, because they do want to bring the women's tag titles in eventually, this is a way to start establishing some teams so you can do eventually bring those in. Unlike me, who's bringing them in at All Out and my TEW fantasy booking in AEW.
So many letters. That's all I got to say about that one.
And your whole NUA thing isn't like that?
No, it's just NEWA.
I'm not talking about that, but like your whole Slammin' Saturdays.
Slammin' Saturdays.
It
That's
takes
it.
place on Sundays, which I'm pretty sure you put up this week's episode on Tuesday.
Look, I'm going to have to pull the editor aside and ask him why he wasn't able to get the episodes up on time. Because it turns out that it was, he did... It's almost like he took a 3-day weekend. Just took off. Sunday, nothing got uploaded. Monday, nothing got uploaded. But then everything shows up on Tuesday. You know what? You know who I truly blame? Pat McAfee. That stupid punter. And
but
5G.
anything. Okay, Adam, what else we? Oh, not that's again. I can't do another 3 Adams. Adam, I cannot do another 3 hours on G5. I can't.
Evolution.
So, Adam, what else do we have on the docket?
It was
or is that it?
Rikishi's fault. He did it for The Rock. Okay, sorry.
What else do we have on the docket?
What else do we have? We got to welcome somebody back. He showed up this week on Dynamite, came back. He's back. It's the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara.
Yes,
served his
he came
suspension, went to therapy, and now he's back.
So I did actually read a response from Tony because he was asked about his coming back already.
Yep.
And he literally said, "I was serious about we will relook at his employment after he took the sensitivity courses and did that, and that's what I did."
Yeah.
And we feel like he has made changes because he went for 4 weeks of intense sensitivity training.
Yes.
And they feel like
No, it's not intense. It was extensive.
Extensive, my bad.
Not intensive.
Extensive.
The entire time, just someone screaming at him, "Respect people!"
So,
what do you do? What do you do? You say nice things.
Tony did kind of misstep a little bit in this, but he did catch himself as you laugh at your own joke.
Yeah.
Where he said he said some things that were a while ago. Doesn't mean it's right.
No.
So he was catching himself because he knew people were going to would have said oh, so you're defending him because it was a long time ago. It was okay. No, it wasn't.
No. He said something inappropriate then, and it's caught up to him.
But yeah, so they felt he did it. They talked to him. They feel he served his point, and it was good. It was okay to bring him back. Honestly, I'm fine with it because they did suspend him for this, but this was even after he already apologized to Sasha Banks, posted a response online, and literally talked to her and apologized to her, in private. So, he did it. They feel that. I'm fine with it. So I'm hoping so. I definitely hope they eventually they can pick back up and build towards Jericho and Sammy for the breaking up the inner circle eventually. But I think they have to they get to reestablish that what they were kind of doing that event now. But we'll see. Anything else in the docket?
Dude, I gotta go over some of the stuff that happened on BTE this week because I love being the elite.
No one cares about being the elite.
I could jump
we're
right
a
to
WWE channel.
Actually,
How many
I'm
times
looking
do I
at the time. I do gotta say it is cool that BTE is where they are definitely sowing the seeds for Kenny going heel / crazy. Because they're still using the storyline of Colt Cabana trying to instigate Kenny into chasing him around, and everyone's just like, stop. No, dude. Like this week, it was Jungle Boy. I mean, no, it was the guy that looks like Jungle Boy.
The jobber that JF just destroyed in his matchup.
Yes. And honestly, I was going to go with the joke of, because the joke is, he says who he is because everyone mixes him up with Jungle Boy, and they're like, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? Yeah, that I literally forgot his name. I was like, who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
I heard it and I forgot it.
This week Griff was like, no, you don't want to do this. I barely know Kenny, and he wants to, and I can see in those eyes, no, Colt, no, walk away, dude. Did you see what he did to that? And at the very end, he goes in. He does visit Marco Stunt, apologizes to Marco, who Marco's just like, I looked up to you, man, both literally and figuratively. I look up to you. You're my hero, and you just disappoint me. Kenny walks into the hall and then just like he's like starts to giggle a little bit and he just shakes his head and he goes, "Pussy," and walks away. And I'm like, oh, the cleaner is coming back. He is coming back. Matt Jackson's new segment on BTE, 50 plus seconds for the 50 plus demo. Oh, it was great this week. Talked about gardening, showed off some jewelry. It was great. It was awesome. The best friends, they are currently plotting to kill Brandon Cutler. I thought I'd just drop that for you.
Okay.
Also, I got this week on New England Wrestling Alliance's Slam-In Saturdays. We got 4 more fatal 4-way matches this week to determine the 4 next competitors in the number 1 Contenders Championship tournament. Tune in, find out who's going to be in there.
Nobody cares.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. We're on the road to Genesis Now, which that show
Nobody
Genesis
cares.
Now is later on. It's not now.
Nobody cares. So let's talk about what people do care, and that is TEW Fantasy Booking AEW, where this past week we had in the main event the FTR going up against Private Party, but did not seem to impress the Young Bucks, who then eventually agreed to come in and show them what is impressive. So they'll be taking on Private Party this coming week. We had the AEW World Tag Team Championships defended against the Dark Order. And afterwards, we had Kenny not happy with Hangman Page getting a drink. And we even had an intervention by the Elite for Hangman Page about his drinking. But Kenny got angry and slapped the drink out of Hangman's hand for the 3rd time. And the two started to brawl and eventually led for Page to storm out. And Cody would have been there, but mystery person, attacked him, so he couldn't defend his TNT Championship in an open challenge this week. Luckily, David Starr found him and called for help. But who knows? And we had a few promos going on, but go ahead and check that episode out and look forward to this next week's TEW Fantasy Booking AEW.
Yeah. Go ahead and check out that show. But really, we all know that the greatest show on this channel is actually Assassin's Creed every Monday. That's the workhorse.
Adam, what's the name of my show again?
It's that fantasy booking show with Tim.
No. It's TEW Fantasy Booking AEW.
It's like, 2 fantasy booking with Tim.
No.
Damn it. All right,
ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you thought of the show down below. Let you answer the question of the video. What did you think of Impact Slammiversary? Did you watch it? If not, go watch it. Come back and let us know. Or let us know if you will watch it in the future. And since you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You've been listening to us over an hour and a half. And God, I know how hard it is with Adam part of this podcast.
Oh, you bastard.
Yes.
You punter.
And since it's right there next to it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding.
Ring that bell.
Ding.
And make sure you turn on all notifications so you know when all As the Buckle turns, TEW Fantasy Booking AEW and NUA and other Zop Gaming content go live.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Adam.
Yes.
You can get bent. Like Tessa Blanchard wanting $150,000 for the TN Impact World Championship.
Fair enough.